Hey everybody, it's Meredith Miller with Inner Integration. Today I'm coming to you from the airport. I'm just leaving a seminar here in California and heading back home to Mexico. And the topic I have for you is one major key to your success in your recovery after narcissistic abuse. And that is who you are listening to. So who are you listening to? Remember, we've talked about the reality paradigm and how dangerous it is to subscribe to the reality paradigm of the abusers and the enablers and the people who just simply don't want to believe in what's going on. And the mantra that I gave you is, that's not my reality, right? So who are you listening to has a lot to do with the perspective that you take and therefore the reality that you create in your life. So first and foremost, you need to be listening to your intuition. That is number one. Your intuition is like your inner GPS, your internal sat nav that's telling you what to do, how to get from A to B, what's okay, what's not okay. You have to be listening to your intuition, because even when you're listening to other people, that intuition is so key for you to be able to discern, is this for me, is this not for me, is this okay for me, is this not for me? And what pieces of information can you take out of that that's going to help you in your journey, and what pieces do you need to tune out because that is not your reality and that's not healthy for you. So the second thing is people who have done it, people who have been there, people who did it successfully. These are experts. These are people who have gone through the process and done it successfully. Like if you wanted to go somewhere, you wouldn't ask directions from someone who's never been there. If you wanted a good restaurant recommendation, you wouldn't ask somebody who's never been there, right? Because they don't know, and that's just food. We're talking about your recovery process. So you want to be talking to people who have done it, who've been there. Stop getting advice from people who are unqualified to give it. Stop getting advice from people who've never been through it, from people who are still in it, from people who are in abusive situations and don't even realize it, from your friends who might really mean well, but they just don't get it, and they're giving you bad advice, and they're telling you to stay, to keep working it out and all of this. Or maybe even you go to a therapist and that therapist gives you some bad advice because they don't really understand what narcissistic abuse is, what a trauma bond is, what the Stockholm syndrome is. One of my clients told me one of her therapists told her that, she was going through this divorce process, and her therapist told her that one of her other clients slept with her ex right before the divorce proceedings, and she got what she wanted. And it was like she was giving that advice to my client. I'm like, doesn't get it at all, right? Like she doesn't understand what the trauma bond is and how dangerous that is. So be very careful who you're getting advice from. And the thing is, like, you have to figure out what applies to you, right? Because even people who have been there before, maybe something different in their life, something that worked for them that didn't work from you. You always want to be discerning, even to the information that I'm giving you in these videos. I've been there, I've gone through it, but maybe my life is a little different than yours. Maybe it doesn't exactly apply to you. But why do you want to go to people who have been there before, who have done it successfully? Is because they're going to save you time. They're going to save you from going through more drama. They're going to save you from going through more struggle. They're going to save you from more heartbreak. They're going to help you work on that path to success, and they're going to help you build confidence and worthiness. And this is so very important in your healing process. This weekend at the seminar, the intuition, right? So like I saw this woman from across the room, and I saw her energy, and I was like, that woman is full of joy. Like I really want to talk to that woman. Who's this woman? And I didn't get to talk to her that day. And then the next day I sit down and I realized the woman sat in front of me, but she didn't see me. So I figured maybe I'll get a chance to talk to her today. And so at one point, Brendan told us, to give everybody a big hug. And the woman sitting next to her, I was giving her a hug. And then that woman turned around and her face went, and I was like, okay. So I leaned in to give her a hug, and she's like, you saved my life. I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, your inner integration. I'm like, yeah. She's like, I've been watching your videos, like you saved my life. I can't believe that you're here. I can't believe that you're sitting behind me. And it was like this connection, like we both needed to meet each other. I sensed it. My intuition told me I needed to talk to that woman. Why? Because I saw her joy. She wanted to talk to me too. So listen to your intuition. Like later that day, or was it the next day, I'd seen this guy before, and I was like, I need to talk to him too. I don't know why. And then later that day, he came over and he started talking to me. It turns out he's a therapist, so is his wife. They run this portal online where they're doing continuing education for therapists. They're based here in the United States, so I want to see if I can get some referrals from them. They seem to understand what narcissistic abuse is. I want to get some referrals from them. For those of you who've been asking about therapists and referrals in different locations, hopefully we can make that connection as well. So you never know what's going to happen. Like if you get that intuition, like you need to talk to somebody, you need to go to some place at a certain time, go do it. Listen to your intuition, like first and foremost, and stop asking for advice from people who just don't get it. You know, and another thing that's really important that Brendan stressed this weekend as well is that experts are always learning. Experts are students first. Some person commented on one of my videos the other day or last week, like, you know, it's obvious that you're still growing, blah, blah, blah. And I think she meant it like a put down. But I was like, yeah, of course I'm still growing. I'm growing to the day that I die. And that's why I'm here. I'm constantly learning new things so that I can teach that to you guys. And hopefully you are constantly in that process of learning. Like just because you got out of that abusive relationship, it's not over. You have a lot of work to do. And even in this life, like why are we here if we're not growing, if we're not learning? So keep dedicating yourself to that process, keep asking people, keep looking for experts, keep learning new things from other people, but first and foremost, listen to your intuition. I'm sending you all a big hug.